guys, Templar here, and welcome back, or if y'all are new, welcome to the Order. And today guys, I will be talking about one of my newest swords. That would be this beauty, the Celtic Chieftain Sword. Or as the Pika puts it, as the Celtic Warrior Sword. Some call it the Celtic Gladiator Sword. I call it the Celtic Chieftain Sword, because that's what it is, people. Let's get that name correct for once. Now, besides that little bickering aside, this is made by the Pika, and this is technically up to around 37 inches overall length with a 31-inch blade. It's made from high carbon steel. Now, when you buy this from Cult of Athena, you can't get this sharpened, which is a big disappointment, so I gotta sharpen this all by hand. Now, the blade is impressive by far, because it has a wide blade and a long blade. It's both wide and long, which is surprisingly different compared to my other Celtic sword, which is technically a Celtic short sword, which you see my point behind that. Now, another thing is probably also cool is this beautiful handguard, or the entire beautiful hilt. Why did I say a beautiful hilt? Well, because if y'all can see in this, you actually see that it represents a Celtic warrior. In fact, it actually has the hands, it has the feet, it has the pants, the shirt, the torso, and including the head. It also even has a elongated hair design for it, which goes into a ponytail design. As well, you can even make out the beard or mustache, and including eyes, nose, and mouth, which is pretty cool. Now, upon holding this weapon, I can easily tell this is a very good cutting weapon. I can easily move around, like so, in the infinity circle, as they call it. Now, this is actually more of a workout than my other sword. You know, this is technically, actually, as I stated, a Celtic Chieftain Sword, which these type of sword designs on the hilt were normally seen sometime after the Hallstatt culture, but sometime during the Latin period, some say. Of which, I don't know if that's true, I'm just going off of what I'm told. Now, as I mentioned before, with the Celtic heritage and history, you can actually tell of Celtic mythology in their swords, which, if y'all take a good look at both of these two, my wooden one and including my new one, you actually see a huge difference, and as well, a near identical representation. If y'all see the studs, they actually represent the feet and such, and as well, also the arms, and the pommel will be the head, representing for this brass one. Yes, this is a brass handle. This is not bronze. I wish it was bronze handle, because that would actually be a little more perfect for me. I would love to have this in a bronze handle design. However, this is just a huge amount of brass all on here, which is still beautiful. It looks near identical to gold. So yeah, it kind of might awe, and it's actually stated in history that these weapons awed their foe from afar. As well as y'all can see in this image here of the Celts attacking the Etruscans, or as well early Roman period people. It's actually stated that this would actually be of what the first seeing of this type of weapon in history that would have been used on them. In fact, this would be normally used, as I state, by the Celts. You know, it is, if y'all can actually play or watch the movie Gladiator, if none of y'all have ever seen that movie, I advise you to. It's a really good film. But as well, in the opening battle scene, I do see a lot of these swords that have this handle design, which is kind of impressive by far. So yeah, I guess they were going up against Germanic Celts, anyways. But yeah. Now, also what brings up to another thing is also the scabbard. It comes with a scabbard. It has a baldric design to it, which is really cool. Now, it also has this piece of padding here, leather shoulder pad. That way, it can actually rest on my shoulder very well, and that way I cannot feel as much pain. Now, really cool part about this, as y'all can see, is its beautiful type of, well, I want to say brass, well, baldric holder, or baldric strap holder. And this is really cool because it does actually hold the baldric in place. Now it has two of these designs for reasons. One is for foot combat. As you all can see, the normal one is it just hangs like this. The other one, which would have been right here on the further down, would actually be more like, well, if you carry it, somewhat like this. And this would be normally only seen on horseback. So it technically has the best of both worlds. And this is a beautiful chieftain sword by far. Though I would love it if this actually came in a metal scabbard as my other sword did. But I would as well I would also like it that had some sort of padding there so that way it doesn't destroy the blade somehow. Still though, these are really cool these are really badass swords, and this thing is, I can easily swing this weapon left, right, thrust, and as well I can even hold my ground. Ha! Now these type of swords are extremely heavy. Now if any of y'all understand the grip length, it would probably be only around 3 inches, which if you don't understand of how good that is, here's the thing. Many of y'all say, Timber, that's not a very good thing. Well, maybe for your big hand guys, but for us Celts, we technically have what you might call a locking hand design. In other words, this locks the hand in place, meaning I don't even need to actually have a, well, a rope or anything attached to this, because it's already attached to my hand. In fact, in doing so, I can just lock it in place, especially if someone comes at me with a sword, which normally you're not supposed to do with a blade, especially during that Iron Age period, but you get my point. But the thing is, if I was to deflect a sword like this, they can then come back down. And that's a cool thing. Now, another cool part about this type of sword is also the following. If I was to, say, get my sword stuck in someone's shield, yeah, you can see where that's going to get bad. Now, just like the Celtic falcata, it's actually stated that I can just use the back pommel to pull it out. Which, that is probably the cool part. Which, I love this sword very much. Now, as I stated, you might want to get y'all's one of these, especially if you want to do the periods of sometime after Le 10, or maybe even the Celts of northern Italy or Gaul, because these are the type of swords that would probably have been used in those type of regions. However, in other regions like Britannia, they would have probably used a different type of material, and design for it than you see here. Still though, this is extremely impressive. I really do love this. As well, I can easily just put my sword in my scabbard like so. Bing, bang, boom. I'm easily walking around. And that's the thing. This thing just makes me want to actually just move around with it. Now, it does also come with a brass cap on the bottom to actually further the decoration and safety for the sword. This weapon actually, I love working with because it's just, literally, just look at this. It's just moving with me. It doesn't work against me, and as well, I can easily draw it and fight. So, what if I'm a Roman auxiliary unit? Well, that's a perfect question. Well, why don't we get on this end? Let me go over my point. In fact, there we go. I can easily draw it like so. Now, in doing so, I must pretty much draw it back in. So yeah, this would be still perfect for Celtic warriors. However, I don't know if it's going to work on this end, because I still have to sharpen this thing. So yeah, you see my point. Now, these swords are extremely cool. I do love this type. That I do. For a massive amount of reasons. Due to my Celtic heritage. Now, another cool part is the way it moves in motion. Now, it has a thickness of probably 4.5 to 4.7, I think. And as well, the type of point of balance is pretty much around, I want to say, because since this is all handle heavy, you got to put it like right around here mostly. Because that way at least you get it in precise placement. Now, this is technically also a really cool part about it. Now, if I remember correctly, this thing is technically just pinged on there, but back then, what they would have done is they would have just taken bronze or brass or whatever they had at then, and melted it right on to the sword, which, if y'all don't understand of the difference between how they made swords back then, comparing that to how they make swords in the medieval period, there's a huge difference, because they actually just placed it into the iron sword, like this, into a type of, well, box that actually had a type of frame for the handle. And in doing so, this poured the bronze on there. In doing so, it worked a lot like this. Which, that's the cool part. I can just easily use this weapon. It is perfect for battlefield use. But yes, now, as I said, I do have to sharpen this a lot for this to end up working well. So, yeah, you can see my problem there. So yeah, first I'm going to have to take an old knife sharpener like this, then pretty much get it graded down to the point at which it's sharp, then use a sharpening stone. So yeah, that's actually how thick this sword blade is. So you see my problem there. I wish I had an old grindstone that I could actually use in the medieval period. That would have been a lot easier than this of our modern machinery. But now, if y'all want to know how much weight is on this, this is technically about 3 pounds, or somewhere over 3 pounds, a little. And that's enough weight in the fact to actually be dangerous for your opponent. And as well, in the process, if I was to do a cutting blow like such, it would pretty much break the body underneath his armor. Now, this is a really hard part to explain though, because since these swords are hard to find, they are extremely impressive. But now, if y'all want to buy your own Celtic Chieftain Sword, I will leave links down below for y'all. As well, if y'all want to know any more information, let me know that in the comments below. This type of sword, of how great they were in the battle. And don't worry guys, I will be doing a Celtic warrior armor up video soon, pretty much. I just got to get a couple more things for it. In fact, I'm trying to do that for each and every time period for y'all to understand history. Because here's the thing guys, I love history as much as y'all. And this is actually a very beautiful sword. Hopefully y'all can get your own. I know one of my viewers, which pretty much loves these type of swords. That's right, dude, I'm talking about you. Who pretty much actually forged his own torque, which congratulations by the way, man. Hopefully you can get yourself one of these swords, and in fact he does love the Celtic Gladius. I hopefully hope he loves these type of Celtic swords as much as I do, because these are extremely impressive. I do know that they are sold on CelticMerchant.com. Medieval Collectibles, Cult of Athena, they're technically sold anywhere Topeka puts their brands. So yeah, hopefully y'all can get your hands on this beautiful bad boy, because it is a chopping weapon. In fact, here's the thing, whenever I want to hold this weapon, here's the thing, here's my arm, and here's this, it just wants to go down. I can't, in fact, I pretty much got to hold up my arm like this to actually make sure I can keep it. In fact, I can easily move, as I stated. But yeah, this is extremely impressive of a sword by far. Still guys, hopefully y'all can get your own version. I'd love to see y'all also. Also check out our Facebook, and hopefully I can catch y'all there. And as well, I even have a Twitter account, but I hardly ever use it. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. I mostly rely on the Facebook version, but that's me. Anyways, as I said, I'll leave links below. I'll pretty much hopefully see y'all at Facebook, and as well join the order guys, so that way y'all can be staying tuned. So like this video, subscribe, and as well hopefully y'all can actually catch the next video very soon in our next Facebook post, because guys, I hope you will like this next rare feat of gear. I'm gonna keep you guessing what it is. So let's just say it was technically used by many cultures in the Mediterranean kingdom. It was actually stated to be a type of armor. So perfect for warriors, especially the hastati. I'll give you a good. Here's the thing. Here you are. Templar. That sounded very good. Well, little hint. Here's the thing. That's a big hint right there. Anyways, catch you later, guys.